Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Okay, आज हम रीड करेंगे चैप्टर नंबर 8 के बारे में एंड अलग अलग कैमरा में आ रहा होगा या नहीं मुझे पता नहीं लेकिन टुडे वी आर गोइंग टू रीड द चैप्टर नंबर 8 दैट इज द वॉल्स ऑफ बेबीलोन बेबीलोन दिस ये बुक का नाम ही बेबीलोन है एंड जो ऑथर है जियोज एस क्लेसन एंड सो विदाउट वेस्टिंग टाइम लेट्स स्टार्ट करते हैं ओके ये मेरी कॉलेज की टी शर्ट है एंड अभी आई एम कमिंग फ्रॉम कॉलेज लाइब्रेरी एंड टुमारो our linear algebra exam, so first read this one. So let's start. Old Bazaar, grim warrior of another day, stood guard at the passageway leading to the top of the ancient walls of Babylon. Up above, valiant defenders were battling to hold the walls. Upon them defended the future existence of this great city with its hundreds of thousands of citizens. Over the walls came the roar of the attacking armies, the yelling of many men, the trampling of thousands of horses, the deafening boom of the battering rams pounding the bronzed gates. In the street behind the gate longed the spearmen waiting to defend the entrance should the gates give way. They were but few for the task. The main armies of Babylon were with their king far away in the east on the great expedition against the Elamites. No attack upon the city having been anticipated during their absence. The defending forces were small. Unexpectedly, from the north bore down the mighty armies of the Assyrians, and now the was most hold the Babylon was doomed. About Banjar were great crowds of citizens, white-faced and terrified, eagerly seeking news of the battle. With host away, they viewed the stream of wounded and dead being carried or led out of the passageway. Here was the crucial point of attack. After 3 days of the circling about the city, the enemy had suddenly thrown his great strength against this section and this gate defender from the top of the wall out of the climbing platforms and the scaling ladders of the attackers with arrow burning oil, and if any reached the top, spears against the defenders. Thousands of the enemy's archers poured a deadly barrage of arrows. Old Banjar had the vantage point for news. He was closest to the conflict and the first to hear of each fresh repulse of the franchised attackers. An elderly merchant crowded close to him, his fleshed hands quivering. Tell me, he pleaded. Please, they cannot get in. My sons are with a good king. There is no one to protect my old wife, my goods. They will steal all. My food, they will leave nothing. We are old, too old to defend ourselves, too old for slaves. We shall starve, we shall die. Tell me, they cannot get in. Come, themselves good merchants. The guard responded, the walls of Babylon are strong. Go back to the bazar and tell your wife that the walls will protect and you and all of your possessions as safely as the protect the rich treasures of the king. Keep close to the walls, lest an arrows flying above strike you. A woman with a baby in arms took the old man's place. As he withdrew, Sergeant, what news from the top? Tell me truly, what that I may reassure my poor husband. He lies with fever from the terrible wounds, yet insist upon his armor and his spear to protect me, who am with child. Terrible, he says, will be the vengeful lust of our enemies, should they break in. Be thou of good heart, thou mother that is and is again to be. The walls of Babylon will protect you and your babies. They are high and strong. Hear ye not the yells of our valiant defender? Are they empty the cauldrons of burning oil upon the ladder's scholars? Yes, that do I hear, and also the roar of the battering rams that do hammer at our gates. Back to the husband, tell him the gates are strong and withstand the rams, also that the scholars climb the walls, but to receive the waiting spear thrust, watch the way and hasten behind you, building. Vanjar stepped aside to clear the passage for heavily armed reinforcement. As the clanking bronze sail and heavy thread, they tramped by a small girl flogged at his girdle. Tell me, please, soldier, are we safe? She pleased. I hear the awful noises. I see the men all bleeding. I am so frightened. What will become of our family, of my mother, little brother, and the baby? The grim old campaigner blinked his eyes and thrust forward his chin as he beheld the child. Be not afraid, little one, he assured her. The walls of Babylon will protect you and the mother and little brother and the baby. It was for the safety of such as you that the good queen Semiramis built them over 100 years ago. Never have they been broken through. Go back and tell your mother and little brother and the baby that the walls of Babylon will protect them. They need have no fear. Day after day, old Banjar stood at his post and watched the reinforcement file of the passageway. There to stay and fight until wounded and dead they came down once more. Around him, unceasingly crowded the throngs of pretended citizens, eagerly seeking to learn if the walls would hold. To all he gave his answer with the fine dignity of an old soldier. The walls of Babylon will protect you. For 3 weeks and 5 days, the attack waged with scarcely ceasing violence, harder and grimmer, said the jaw of Banjar. As the passage behind, we wait with the blood of the many wounded was churned into mud by the never ceasing streams of men passing off and staggering down. Each day the slaughtered attackers peeled off in heaps before the wall. Each night they were carried back and buried by their comrades. Upon the fifth night of the fourth week, the clamor without the diminished the first streaks of daylight, illuminating the plains, disclosed great clouds of dust raised by the retreating armies. A mighty shout went off from the defender. There was no mistaking its meaning. It was repeated by the waiting troops behind the walls. It was echoed by the citizens upon the streets. It swept over the city with the violence of a storm. People rushed from the houses. The streets were jammed with the throbbing mob. The pain of fear of weeks found an outlet in the wild chorus of joy from the top of the high tower of the temple a veil burst forth the flames of victory. Skyward floated the column of blue smoke to carry the message far and wide. The walls of Babylon had once again repulsed a mighty and viscous foe determined to lord her rich treasures and to ravish and enslave her citizens. Babylon endured a century after century because it was fully protected. It could not have afforded to be otherwise. The walls of Babylon were an outstanding example of man's need and desire for protection. This desire is inherent in human race. It is just as strong today as it ever was, but we have developed broader and better plans to accomplish the same purpose. This day, behind the impregnable walls of insurance, savings accounts, and defendable investments, we can guard ourselves against the unexpected tragedies that may enter any door and seat themselves before any fireside. So this is all about the chapter number 8. The conclusion we get from this chapter is we cannot afford to be without adequate protection. So be a protection your money. The protect your money. The walls of Babylon that protect your money. That's called the protection of the Babylon. The walls of Babylon. Like the walls of the Babylons will save the peoples, the citizens of the Babylon. Likewise, the you have to save like make like that wall, Babylon like wall, so that the protection of your money, your savings account in near future, the bear has safe and secure. Okay, so this is all about this chapter number 8. See you next. Tata, bye.